I've got a friend that's got alopecia, but he's got no hair.
I had no hair for 4 years, totally bald.
Okay. Yeah, wow.
No known cause, no known cure, but I don't like the word no, so I went on a global journey to find a South Road Moorabbin.
That's what you did, because my girlfriend's daughter has experienced alopecia too.
We want to film all this.
We can.
Yes, we can. Do you know Rosanna Ferracci?
I know the name, but
She's
not the
a model.
person.
She opened the casino. She's done every television show.
She opened the casino in the original days
The
when
original
it was the
casino.
old
She
setting.
cut
I remember.
the thing.
Yeah.
So her
They're a
daughter,
client.
when she turned about 13, got alopecia.
That's why I did quite a bit of sort of public speaking around it at the time.
You
and
represented,
became,
didn't you?
for Victoria, became a public
And
face.
that's
of
the
it.
episode, guys. Thanks for coming. I just sent a photo to George.
There you go.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
we're on.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hear Me Roar pod. I am Toby, and my co-host is none other than the Kate Save, which you might know her from Shark Tank. She's also founder of BeFit Foods and picked up Telstra's Business of the Year award too. Kate?
Well, Toby, you've got a super impressive CV, 25 years in global commercialisation experience, and you founded Creative Cubes, Australia's leading co-working space and real estate business.
All right, let's get on with the pod.
Welcome back, Toby.
Kate?
I love that you are just open to conversation. So I never worry about what guests I invite in the show, because no matter what it is, I know we go there. I remember the one that I nearly wet my pants in was about the pregnancy and giving birth and the Vindaloo curry. And you said, did it come out the right end or
No,
something?
you go, the curry hurt. I was like, wrong hole.
That's right. So I know whoever we bring on, you with your mother, your daughters, your wife, you're putting your women in your life on a pedestal.
Yep.
So we have got an incredible guest coming on next.
Yes. And actually the guest is the wife of a friend of mine,
Oh,
George,
there we
who
go.
has had an amazing career in media. And I last saw him when he was working with Omar at Disrupt Radio. And I just texted him now. I took a photo saying, we're here. And he said, I'm a lucky man. So I don't want to hold anyone else up. We'll cut to a quick break from Rise and we'll come back with Di. Guys, I want to introduce you to Rise, a business cohort like no other. So what is the Rise Network? Rise Network is a curated inner circle of 10 to 12 like-minded peers designed to provide a confidential, high-trust environment where business owners and leaders can gain strategic insights, actionable solutions, and lasting relationships. Rise isn't just networking, it's a game-changing business support system. It has strategic problem solving built in, expert facilitation, actionable insights, long-term impact and authentic relationships, and it's based exclusively around high-trust cohorts. For your membership, you gain full access to Creative Cubes. That means you can drop in when you're on the run to use the meeting rooms, breakout spaces, or even just dock in for the day. We wanted to serve the underserved, the people that do need the help, do need the support, don't necessarily have the funds to be able to do it, and don't necessarily fit into one of these other organizations. And so that's where Rise kind of came from. So there you have it, guys. Go to werise.au, and I hope to see you at one of our cohorts soon.
Welcome, Di. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. I love being on the other side of the microphone.
Yes, the Power of Women podcast is very powerful. You're over 100 episodes now, aren't you?
I am. Yeah.
Does that put you in the top 1% of podcasters?
So they say. I kind of think I'd rather be judged on followers than episodes. But,
right. There we go.
There we go.
Well, your last episode, and I haven't shared this with Toby, but super controversial with domestic violence coming through all different forms. And this one was particularly the bank statements and someone processing a cent at a time, 900 times, so they could write vile things with each transaction as a form of domestic abuse.
Wow.
Yeah, unheard of. And when you think about it, and as Catherine Fitzpatrick shares in that episode, 90% of the cases of financial abuse end up in domestic violence. And they've found this is a sneaky little way of saying, I'm outside your house, I'm watching what you're doing. So she's got this brilliant strategy designed to disrupt, to get rid of all of the loopholes that these creeps are using.
See, this is also foreign to me. It really is. I'm so glad you're bringing light to it, but I have no idea this sort of stuff's going on. The women in my world are way up here, and I just carry the bags, pay the bills, and worship the floor that they walk on. The idea of inequality.
You're my sort of guy, Toby.
That's why we share the podcast.
In a sort of inequality, I feel like I'm the inadequate here when it comes to all the girls in my world.
Yeah.
So I'm blown away by this. You know what I'm also blown away by? Your hair.
Oh, there you go.
So cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a statement.
Yeah.
I can't commit a crime. They'll know who did it.
It'd be hard to cover without
Recognisable.
recognising it.
Yeah, even the shadows recognisable.
So I used to shave my head.
Yeah.
Not bald, but like a one, because I like the TV show Prison Break.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that guy. Oh, he's gorgeous.
And my wife of 20 years this year, married, 24 years together.
Yeah.
Put up a post of me as a teen where I had the fluffy hair, not as high quality as yours, but within reason. And someone commented, if you could only grow his hair like that again. I was like, hold on a second. I choose to shave my head. I'm not shaving it because I can't grow hair. And so now this statement, much like your statement, is an FU to those that doubted my ability to grow hair.
Yeah. Well, my story is a little bit similar because I was long blonde, natural hair, all fell out in 1999, lost the lot with alopecia totalis.
Yeah.
And
you were working in retail at this point
I was working in executive search.
Oh,
which was really tough because people were engaging me for six-figure sums of long play consulting pieces of work. And you'd walk into the room with a bandana and they'd think you're not here for the long term. And so getting past that was quite tricky. But I did say at the time that I would never be defined by my hair again, and kind of here we are. So massive fail.
When this might be come off wrong. My little sisters, they're younger than me, but they're not little.
Yeah.
They used to have these things called troll dolls.
Yeah. No, it could come out wrong, but I know where you're going.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It really is.
Thank you.
I might try and kid and play.
You've got enough product there. I can teach you the final step.
All I could think about is when you were saying the shaving your head, I was like, did you do it to look like the Prison Break guy? Because my husband shaved his head because he got told he looked like Ben Cousins.
Oh, right.
And he was like, I was like, okay, mate. Like,
I wanted to be like, not because I look like him. I was like, wanted to be like him.
Yeah.
I didn't go the length of tattoos. I haven't got any tattoos, but and definitely don't have the breakout code tattooed on my body. But no, I thought he was cool. So I shaved my head and I kept it shaved pure convenience for years. Like I'm talking like maybe like 15 years. And then I was like, you know what? Someone struck a nerve with me saying, oh, if only they could grow their hair like that. Like,
I'm blown away. I get comments about this most days, but what really blows me away, and I'm certainly not young, is it's by men and it's typically younger men. And I find that really interesting because that didn't used to happen.
What sort of comments?
Positive comments.
Yeah,
you rock a look or, things that, well, I mean, we talk about midlife women feeling invisible. I kind of don't fit that mold.
Well, you don't look midlife to begin with, so I feel like that's where it's going wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to share. I'm just about to turn 62.
What?
I know.
So,
no way.
Seriously,
Crazy.
62 next week.
Holy moly. What date?
Same age as me.
The 25th of March, Greek Independence Day.
My daughter is 26th of March. So that's
she's
Wednesday.
an Aries too. Yeah. Fantastic.
Well, you don't look a day over insert your own number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I know your husband, so he's done exceptionally well for himself. And that's now on record.
So the power of going through that, because we've had other people on that have gone through a journey that has changed them. What, like obviously once your hair starts falling out, and I heard you talk about it fell out around your ears and then went sort of up, and people are judging you, and how do you move through that? Is there a change in identity, or what does
there
that
absolutely
mean?
is, because we don't realize until we lose something how much value we place on it. So I struggled through the journey of losing it and faced the final tiny little bit that was left and shaved it off. And that was really confronting. And I was coping until the day I rang in, the one morning I rang in to my then line manager and said, hey, look, it's not working. Can't do this, because how I showed up was about how I presented, which was about how I presented to the clients and to the world. And I said, I can't cope. And he said, why? What's wrong with you? And that was a like hitting the wall moment where I went down a dark rabbit hole and thought, I can't do this. I can't do life. And I went home and sat down thinking, what's the bit that I can't do, that I can't cope with? And I'd lost control of the narrative. I'd lost control of everything. And I sat there with a blank piece of paper and went, reason for being, reason for not being, reason for being one out. And that was when I realised my identity was wrapped up in how I looked, how I presented, how my confidence was wrapped up in how I looked. I couldn't find wigs that were right. So for a brief moment, I delved back into my expertise from the rag trade, which was my first career, and I developed a wig company.
Oh, wow.
Primarily to get myself out of the hole.
Yes.
And then I sold that on after the event.
Oh, amazing. And I remember hearing a part of your story about always being so much into fashion that whatever you wore, you'd even go and change outfits if it didn't
serve me on the day.
Yeah. Amazing.
And that was easy to do when I lived in Flinders Lane in the city, because I could dash home from the office, change and come back. But that point's relevant, because if I don't show up feeling that I'm representing the best version of me, I can't do it.
So interesting. Like it's so much more complex than the outfit. It's
It's the whole vibe. It's the whole sense that it creates. And I'm still the same today.
Unbelievable. And so there was another moment in your journey that struck me as a complete admiration when you sat down with your big boss and you were talking about gender pay disparity.
Yeah.
And he said, what number do you want? But you were both wearing black, and
I so love that you're bringing this one up.
You had black napkins instead of white. Did you know that you could ask for a different colour napkin so you didn't get the lint on your outfit?
On your suit.
No.
Yeah. So she couldn't write the number on the black napkin, so she had to leave it on his desk the next day.
Yeah, because I'd thrown up at him, and that I had identified that there was quite a pay disparity.
Disparity, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Between my male partners and myself, and so he'd flown in from Sydney, taken me out to dinner, asked the waiters to change the napkin so he didn't get lint on his designer suit or on mine. And when he said, what do you want? And he said, write it. What do you want? I said, what do I want? He said, don't tell me, just write it on the napkin. It's like, Andrew, they're black. Can't do it. So, yeah, it's kind of
that's amazing.
a defining moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that list that you were talking about as well, I've done that. I've done the list of.
Really?
Yeah. Mine was, I got fired from my own company as CEO, and I had to choose then was I worthy of this? How much did I want this? What did this mean? And I think the real question was, am I capable versus I'm not good enough. There's other things I can do. I'll find something else. Just accept it. And I've got pages and pages of the for and against, and I had to do it multiple times to become clear on it. And once you know, you know.
Yeah. It's a really great exercise to do. If in doubt, pros and cons for whatever the reason might be.
Have you done that for anything?
Can't say that I have, unfortunately or fortunately.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be a negative. It just has to be can't see your way past something. There's a for and against. It's there's something powerful about writing.
Very powerful.
Writing it down.
And you can write down the things you can't say or tell anybody else.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's powerful, because it's in here and you're feeling it. You don't want to, for me, I didn't want to burden anyone with knowing what I was thinking. And I also didn't want someone else to make a decision for me. I wanted to be listened to, but I wasn't ready to speak.
And it's vulnerable to say what you put down on paper.
Yeah.
There's a real vulnerability in that. And that doesn't always serve you either, because you might be judged for what you're doubting.
So can I just go a little bit raw with you?
Yeah, sure.
Do you give a shit these days?
Nowhere near the same amount. I'd spent...
Because you've walked into the studio, you're rocking leather pants, bright
She's
pink,
like
bright hair.
she? Yeah.
And you're like, I can tell you work out.
Yep.
And I'm blown away that you're turning 62. Like I'm still struggling at that ingestion point. But to me, you've walked in here as a very confident woman, knowing who you are.
Yep.
And, you know, in a stereotypical space, it's kind of like, who's this chick with the crazy hair? But you're rocking it. And it makes me feel like I can do whatever I want in your presence as well. Because
Terrific.
you're evoking confidence.
I don't not care what people think, but it is a bit of take it or leave it. You get to a point where you know who you are, and that's the beautiful thing. The confidence.
When did that happen
for me?
You? Yeah,
late. I was a late bloomer.
Okay.
50.
Yeah, right. Okay, there's time for us.
Yeah.
But hold on. So alopecia
was in my 30s, heading into 40.
Oh, that's hard though.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah.
And then you found someone like in a non-traditional way to help you grow your hair back.
I travelled around the world looking for a solution, because I dealt with Western medicine, didn't like the practitioners, didn't like their attitude, shared that fairly vocally with them, which is kind of me. And travelled and couldn't find a solution. And then somebody in Melbourne actually said, go and see this guy, a really alternative practitioner in
here locally?
South Road, Moorabbin.
Holy crap.
And it's this funny, Doug is now retired, but it was this hysterical, funny, sort of hinky looking little weatherboard place in industrial part of South Road, Moorabbin. And I've walked in, and his client base was essentially more natural herbalist style of clients than me. And you used to have to leave your shoes on the shelf. And in those days, I was suited up in corporate with Louboutin stilettos, and he'd come out and go, she's here somewhere because I can see her shoes on the rack. And
they've got red bottom heels.
No, I know all about it.
See, he's such a
Not because my
knows.
girls are into it, but because actually we're designing a staircase in Sydney.
Yes.
And one of the call outs was I wanted to look like part of the fit out on the outside, but underneath I want it to be like the Louis Vuitton. I want it to have attitude. I want it to be not like, I don't want it to like look look normal or in place. I want it to be obnoxious and out of place. And it's in a corporate cube. So we have creative cubes and corporate cubes. It's in a corporate cubes environment. So everything is nicely dressed, and they've got this attitude of this staircase, and it's a Louis Vuitton
Attitude's
under.
Favourite word. I love it for any briefing.
Well, so you've taken off your shoes. He knows you're there.
Yeah, he knows I'm there. And so it was a journey of seriously being prepared to go down a rabbit hole I'd never been down before. So it was so alternative, and it wasn't overnight. It was a long haul.
You went around the world trying to find someone.
I know.
That was in your backyard.
Yep. Yeah. And it was only through, and this is the whole power of storytelling, which is why I do Power of Women, if I wrap that back, because it was only being prepared to share my story vulnerably with people that led me to ultimately the guy who ended up being the answer to what I was looking for.
And so you said you had long blonde hair before.
Yep.
So being able to grow your hair back now,
yes,
you didn't want to grow it back to what was.
Well, it's funny. If it never happened, I'd probably be still sitting here with long blonde hair. But I realised after I'd lost it and got it back that short hair was kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And in fact, I've had this version of this hairdo ever since I got my hair back in 2004. But it was actually George, my husband, who said to me during COVID, stop hiding behind it, pull it right up off your face. And the difference in who I am, how I feel, how other people perceive me since I've done that has been like lifting a veil. It's bizarre.
So a wise woman once said to me, hence the woman, not the man.
Yeah.
A wise woman once said you have to go through it to get to it. By the way, your husband George has got also nice fro as well.
We've kind of got variations on the same thing. Same hairdresser.
And
now
his is also shiny, but it's a grey, isn't it? Sorry. No. I was going to say, but you have to go through it.
You do.
So
you absolutely
there's no shortcuts.
No.
I'm sorry that you had to experience what you had to experience, but my God, what's come out the other side? Like you just walked into this space today.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
like
true.
Confident, like reserved, calm, powerful.
Yeah.
This is what I'm seeing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you
Love
have that with the long blonde hair? Was there a shift there?
I've never been shy and retiring, albeit I was the kid that was bullied at school and then went, this doesn't serve me. I've got to get past this. So,
and what was that work
school,
that you did to get past the bullying?
That work was simply, I don't like being here. So how am I going to get beyond it without being a bully myself? So I was very conscious of to get beyond that, not to the detriment of somebody else. And I kind of, that's a value I think that underpins everything that I've done ever since. But I've lost the thread of the question.
Oh, yeah. So did the long blonde hair, dye with the long blonde hair have that same...
She had a sense of confidence, but as I said before, I didn't really step into who I was until I was 50. And I think we surround ourselves by like-minded people, and all of my girlfriends are strong, determined, forthright. But I had a couple of strong, determined, forthright who exhibited too much influence over me. And it wasn't until perhaps stepping away from them for a raft of different reasons, two in particular, that I realised, in fact, I was projecting everything about me to try and be like them, when in fact I had as much to offer, if not more so than they did. And it was in the separating from those friendships that I stepped up and stepped forward.
Wow. Now there's two other really
up being
important...
the hair and forward in the...
All of the above.
Two other very important parts of your journey, and I guess what's built your resilience. So with your sister-in-law, how did that affect you? And so for people who don't know.
So my sister-in-law is Amy Gillett, who was the Australian cyclist killed in Germany in 2005 when the Australian cycling team were hit by a young 18-year-old driver on her phone, causing a significant injury to the rest of the team. And Amy was at the front of the peloton and died from the result of the injury. It was another test in resilience. So one in supporting my brother through the loss, and being thrown in the deep end of things that you've never done before. So we went to the airport the day that Simon was flying out with a friend to bring Amy's body home. It was on that plane ride with his friend that the idea was ruminating around building the foundation. So that bit started. But Simon's throwaway line to me was, could you organise a funeral? To which I said, yes. No rule book for that. Hadn't organised a funeral before. And then it went another step further than that because of a whole raft of reasons. We were then approached to do a state memorial service in Victoria and in South Australia, and managing the politics of that literally is an absolute minefield. So there were quite significant people who put their hand up to help with that, but learning how to manage that, learning how to negotiate with overly confident state premiers, walking into rooms I'd never walked in before, asking for money for the foundation to get off the ground, knocking back premiers who thought they should be the keynote at a state funeral when I said, be terrific, still a family event, welcome to speak, love you to put down the first 50,000 if you want to start the foundation. All these sorts of things happened at that point in time.
Wow.
So resilience, new territory, backing yourself, finding out who to lean on if you didn't know what to do, all of those.
But also standing up and being strong and making sure anyone who's there is there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And you're representing what should be represented.
Yeah,
and
because
not
this wasn't about me. This was playing a supporting role.
Yeah.
And through that is what landed me on the board for 6 years of the foundation.
Wow.
Of walking into a room to play a supporting role. Somebody put down a certain set of values and thoughts and ideas, and I said, well, that's great, but that's not what's happening. And the then chair pulled me outside and said, you're not here to take notes, you're on the board. So, different journeys propel us forward.
And that other part of your story that I think is part of what makes you you, and you got this domain name back in early 2000s, is that right?
2014 when I launched my own search firm and I'd broken away from a large global firm.
Yes.
And I wanted to do a mentoring platform for females. And I secured the domain name in 2014 for the Power of Women. And I had the good fortune of when I launched of having too much work in it, and I was a solopreneur and I just didn't have time to put anything into Power of Women. So I sat on it for a decade, and in 2023 when the Matildas World Cup campaign was on and there was a byline on the Today Show one morning that was Power of Women, I said to George, time to do it.
Oh, wow.
And the world had changed since 2014 because we weren't sitting here doing podcasts really at that point in time.
And your passion for telling these stories and really giving power back to women. I heard that you had a few hairy stories in there, many, not just one or two, of men putting themselves in your way to doing your job. And
I was going to make a joke about the hairy situations, but that's...
well, I think we've done the hair bit.
I keep coming back to the hair, but I don't want to distract from the question.
Yeah. So the reason for doing my podcast is it's a mentoring platform through storytelling primarily. So midlife women's juggling so many things, particularly we're the first generation that are juggling careers, family, aging parents, menopause, all of these things at the same time, and probably still in the workforce. And many women at my point in life are struggling with visibility. And it's like, well, why would you struggle with any of those things? So it's about sharing stories from women who have been through it, and they're not readily well-known women, albeit they're usually extraordinarily accomplished women. But they're more relatable for everybody to go, hey, I can see something of myself or my experience or my struggle in them. And then for younger women, I mean, we weren't talking about menopause when I was going through perimenopause. So it's a roadmap for younger women to say, hey, this is how you got through it, and this is what I'm going to aspire to do in my own journey. So it's that. But what I think you're touching on, Kate, is, and I mean, I say in my career I've only been sexually harassed in the workplace 87 times and had one naked chairman in my hotel room.
Really?
And all things are true.
I think we've got 4 daughters between us. And it's just
and it was the thing that happened, and I'm sure it still happens. Whether it happens to the same extent in all industries, but all of my girlfriends would have stories, and it's the sharing of those stories. And I only got really confident enough to deal with that probably in my 40s, but hopefully your daughters, and I think that, there's a change of tide, are probably going to call it out straight up, because there's no reason to hide behind it anymore.
So I'm a very spiritual person.
Yeah.
I like going and seeing clairvoyance, but showing up anonymously.
Yeah, right.
So I would have you book the clairvoyance. I would pay you and you'd pay them. So there's no trace to me in my name. And then I'd make you book it in an obscure name.
Yep.
So you might call me James, even though I'm Tobi, and I show up. So I sit down and they go, hi, James. I go, hi, nice to meet you. Like completely untraceable. And I do that specifically to try and connect with my dad, who passed away when I was young. And the last clairvoyant that I went to see is also a medium, told me my daughter's actually in the music theatre space. She loves, she's only 14, but if I played a song for you, she's on her way, right? And my role is to be the bumpers on the bowling alley. So wherever she decides to go, she's not falling in the gutter. Yeah.
I've got goosebumps at this point in time for some reason. Yeah.
And this clairvoyant told me to be careful of an Aiden or an Adrian or something, because he's going to try and coerce your daughter into stuff that doesn't make her feel good. And so I went back and told Sim straight away. And the names may not be right, but like the point is that like a clairvoyant saying in years to come,
this is going to
be
happen.
Aware.
Yeah.
Be awake to the reality of the situation.
Right. Yeah.
Because I hear it, and I spent 10 years in Los Angeles.
Yep.
So I understand all of the situations. It's foreign to me. I don't understand how people can go about themselves, or at least be able to look themselves in the mirror, having committed those sorts of things or scenarios, if not realities. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. My thread's gone as well, but I hear it, and it's got to go.
It does.
I don't want to sound political. We've got to drain the swamp in every aspect.
Yeah.
In politics, in all these people that are taking advantage of others in situations. I'm not about it, and I'll fight to the death of what's right out of principle. But it kills me to hear that, again, we had to go through it to get to it, but it can't continue.
Yeah.
And I think this is a prominent time right now. We're hearing, and I don't lean into it because it's just not of interest to me, and that makes me sick. But the Epstein files and the
exactly,
Harvey
and it's why
Weinsteins.
Thoreau's just done the documentary, The Manosphere, which I'm partway through watching. You can see where it comes from. We haven't stamped it out yet, but
it needs to. And like part of me is like,
That's even awkward watching that when it comes on. My husband was flicking through Netflix and we stopped and we're watching it, and just the ickiness of that.
Isn't it?
It makes you
Kate,
feel.
I'm making assumptions here, but like you haven't had to go through it.
No.
But imagine someone that's living with that as a dark secret and sees that as they flick through the Netflix.
Yeah.
Imagine what that does to them, like it's.
Yeah. And that's another point with my podcast. I'm not in any way, shape or form trying to be soft feminism. That's not what it's about.
No. Yeah.
It's about leveling the playing field. And in so having these conversations, we've got to be really careful that we're not alienating men. We're not challenging them to go, well, where do we fit in if the dynamic is changing?
Yeah.
So we've all got a role to play in stamping it out, because in exerting ourselves and becoming more confident, stepping forward, we run the risk, we being women, run the risk of doing exactly the same of what's happened to us. So I'm super conscious of it being, let's do this together. Let's not do this in isolation.
Yeah, but
it's a handful of men.
No, I was about to say not you, but I think those guys need to be called out.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of blanketing it, because I'm a guy and that shit doesn't enter my head,
world,
right?
Yeah.
It's not in my world. And in fact, I didn't even knew it exists. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, my friend over there's a bit of a creep, but we're all good over here. Like, I don't hang with these types of people, but these types of people need to be called out.
Yeah.
And the guys that like me that aren't, it's foreign to them, we need to call it out as well. Like, it's unacceptable. But I think I'm not about it. I don't want people. We don't have a lot of time on this earth. Yeah, we're not here for a long time. Let's have a good time. Let's celebrate each other. Don't go where you're tolerated. Go where you're celebrated.
Yeah.
It pains me to hear, but there's an opportunity here to rewrite it if we're brave enough to step and lean into it.
And it's that bravery to speak up, because people bury it because it's the shame and the embarrassment.
And the impact and the impact of calling it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
and that was the big thing in the day. I mean, I can remember in my days in the rag trade being on a trip to New South Wales, and we stayed at a funky little hotel in the Cross, and I can remember one of the senior executive males knocking on my hotel room door after the day was over and dinner had finished. And I can remember going, shit, what do I do? And I remember what I did. I turned the shower on to pretend that I was in the shower and I couldn't hear the door. Now, fast forward to about 45 years later, 2 years ago, and I was at a prominent Melbourne restaurant with my husband, and that individual walked in with his family, and the power dynamic had shifted, because I know the minute he saw me, he knew why I was staring him down.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
You know what I love about you is that you're like, you look, I might be judging the book by its cover here, but you appear to be fearless now. Because you've been through it, you're rocking your hair, you're rocking the pants, you're standing here, you clearly work out.
Yep.
You're calm, you know who you are, and that can't be, dare I say, fucked with. Yeah? And so I love that for you. I'm sorry that you had to go through all that, but may your power become infectious to others, that are now enables others to also appear at the very least fearless with their situation.
Thank you, Toby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that's real. You are a well collected, put together human being. I'm still blown away at 62.
I know, and I love that your statement about not making women invisible, because there is that scary part of aging that and people say your looks will fade, and then who will you be?
It's not about looks.
No, but there's
not
something.
The thing.
Where do you get that confidence that comes when the rest of it goes, when people will openly say that? And I've been called on national TV, I was called a bit of blonde fluff. until I destroyed them in the show
Well,
I
I'm
was
grateful
on.
for that bit of blonde fluff. I think you're great.
And those things, they stick with you. They just,
They either break you or drive you further, give you strength, because it's like, and I think that's probably where I got to in many of these things of, and I had a strong role model in my father, who always put me forward that I could do these things. I appreciate not everybody
I have that
has
dad, and you are that dad.
Yeah. And all power to your kids for having that dad, because it is character defining in the long run.
Yeah. Well, the magic for me is to give my kids what wasn't there for me. Yeah, my dad passed when I was young. I don't even know if I'm a good dad. I just need to be present. And that's more than I had.
Well, that's
for the obvious reasons.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, and I want to live to 150 so I can sort of be around for my kids. I'm not a helicopter dad. I'm like not trying to. I want my kids to fall over, but to the point of the bumper bowling, like it doesn't matter where. As long as I'm around, that thing's not going in the gutter.
Yeah.
And you might hit one pin, you might get a strike.
Aiden may get a baseball bat to the head.
Yeah, Aiden. God forbid, Aiden should actually be a real Aiden. Like there's not an issue there. I'll clean that up pretty quickly, but it's something that I'm conscious of because of voices like this, because of the stories that you hear from afar. But now this is like the guy that helped you overcome the baldness. It was in your own backyard. You searched globally for it. Yeah, to find it in your own backyard. It's
he was an extraordinary human being.
Yeah, so are you.
Thank you.
And I'm grateful that you've come here today. I'm grateful for you reaching out to have Di come on as well, because I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
And if there's any way that Kate or I can support you going forward, we're on the team.
Beautiful.
So just call the number and we're there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Di.
Thank you so much.
Guys, we're going to cut to a quick break and Kate and I will be back to wrap. weareluna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, weareluna.co is where you need to be starting off. Kate, we talked about talent coming on and leveling up. I'm genuinely in awe of Di. Like
she's amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
And that energy, the fact that you're feeling the confidence, that that awe, or aura, whatever it is really empowering. And if other people can feel that, and she's coaching people, then we can all lift each other up and stamp out the stuff that we may not have had the courage to stamp out earlier. Yep. So I'm all about that. Michael, our CEO, called while we were filming, and it reminded me, when we first, when he first became the CEO, I was still holding on to the trauma of lockdowns and all this shit that got stripped from us. As a good company, just got stripped from us, right? I've said this a gazillion times, we make a living, I make a living, I put food on the table by bringing people together in a safe, happy space where they're enabled to do their best work. When the premier gets up on stage and says, if you go to the office, you're going to die, I couldn't make a living for a very extended period of time. It was very traumatic. But Michael, as Di was speaking, calls my phone and his smiley face comes up on my screen. And it reminds me of the time where he pulled me aside and he goes, what happened. We need to get past it. If you can't show up to the Tobi that I need you to be, don't come in at all. Yeah. So and that was very powerful. He goes, you don't really understand the aura that you have, and when the staff see you, and if you're up, they're up, and if you're down, shit, they're going to be down too. And I didn't really understand it and appreciate it, but I saw it when Di walked in. She walked in, hello, I'm Di. You know my husband. This is who I am. And just the last half an hour that we spent talking with her, the power and the aura of her is really inspiring. I couldn't agree more.
And that makes me think that everyone needs to sort of maybe have, like, just as a takeaway, if you can't show up, and you don't need to be loud and you know, the cheer, you know, the big voice in the room and the big energy in the room, but if you could just show up and be the best version of you,
Yeah.
and if you don't feel like it, that's okay as well. Don't come in, but like showing up, how you show up is so important, even when dealing with really difficult stuff. We talked about that athlete that didn't show up to my rooftop. I was crumbling inside, but I had to show up for the people and execute. I think it's a really, really powerful thing.
It is, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the entire message today, but for me, that's something I'm taking home.
Yeah. Be visible, show up, and
also
just be you, be authentic.
And also be like confident in who you are.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, if you put me on a basketball court with all the athletes, I'd probably be the worst player on the squad. You wouldn't know it though. Not because I'm going to show up and try and trick them. I will play to strengths in other areas of the court that these players can't. Like, there is a ton of athletes that have called me in the last sort of 48 hours after we bombed out and thanked me. I'm like, thanking me? What are you talking about? Thank you. No, Tobi, you don't understand. The energy that you have on the sideline is like a thunderbolt to our organization, and having you there and put your money on our jerseys and, you know, support us.
It's amazing.
I'm like, holy shit, like, I'm just in awe of you guys. And so it works both ways. And I think that that's a really important thing. Take stock of who you are, recognize your strengths, be comfortable, calm, and collected in that.
Yeah.
We always pine to be bigger and better and louder and all the rest of it. I don't think it matters
There
anymore.
is one more thing in there though, because Di said too, she didn't really find herself fully until she was 50 as well. There are many people, and definitely me, I know I'm still looking, like I'm getting close, but I know there's lots of wobbly bits around the outside that, you know, could be shaved off and fixed. But she talked about the people that you surround yourself with as well. And I know you surround yourself with positive people, uplifting people, and people who genuinely want to see you succeed, not people that are a little bit jealous,
They say your network is your net worth, you know, or not necessarily your network, but like the people that you surround yourself is your net worth. And there's a lot of detractors.
Yes.
And there's a lot of, like, I don't know if it's adders, but like there's great people. Like, we're talking buckets at home. Harper, you're emptying my bucket. You know, she'll tease Madison. That really filled my bucket today. Like, we need to find more things that fill the bucket than take the water out of the bucket.
I love that. Great
analogy. Really good
analogy.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's like simple stuff.
Yeah.
That a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, a 14-year-old understands, and actually years before. But yeah, you've got to take stock of who's pulling you down and who's lifting you up. And sometimes you need that equal balance.
Yes.
I love the jiggly things about you, Kate. I don't know what they are, but I love spending time with you and shooting the breeze on phone calls together, doing the podcast here with James. And so I'm not encouraging you to shave off those wobbly bits, because I think that's what makes you who you are. But I am encouraging you to play to your strengths and focus less on the wobbly bits or the stuff that's not filling your bucket.
Yes.
And it's hard.
Yes. The yes and no list, that really helps.
We've had Peter Turin on this before, and he says it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. You know, previous to Peter, I was like, choose your hard, because both things are hard to do. You know, one of them is going to be more rewarding if you do it, and one of them is going to be just as painful if you don't. So with that,
Tobi.
I'm so grateful Di came on. Another great episode. Thank you, James. We'll see you on the next one.
See you then.